Am I the butthole for making my ex miss her shift at work by not picking up my daughter when she asked? My ex and I, 27M, have a 6-year-old daughter together. Last week was her custody time. My roommate is currently pregnant, I'm the father, and this was going to be the first ultrasound appointment. I drove us to her doctor even if I couldn't go in with her due to COVID restrictions. We were allowed to FaceTime during the appointment, so I could at least be there virtually. I got a call from my ex while I was waiting in the car, and she needed me for an emergency. The lady that usually babysits my daughter for her got sick that morning, and everyone she's called so far is too busy to watch her, so that's why she was contacting me. I told my ex I couldn't because I was at this appointment. My ex said this was more important since my roommate can just record it for me to watch later. She had a point, but it wasn't going to feel like I was present during the moment. I told her I'll go pick up my daughter once we're done here, but that just led to us arguing because my ex needed to get to work now. My roommate texted me that they were going to call her in soon, so I told my ex that I had to go and I'll let her know when we leave. By the time we were done, dropped off my roommate, it was well over 2 hours, and she was furious. She told me not to even bother picking up my daughter because she'd be making it to work by the end of her shift. She was very cold and distant with me when she dropped off my daughter. And she let me have it a little when she told me what a selfish jackass I was, choosing an ultrasound appointment over taking care of my daughter. To be honest, this was a really big deal for me. I didn't get to experience any of this with my daughter because I didn't find out about her until after she was born, so it just means a lot of being there for these little milestones during the pregnancy. That's why I'm not sure if maybe being selfish here about wanting to be present makes me an butthole, since she needed my help and deciding to go after made her miss work. I'm actually going with you're the butthole. Not for not helping your ex, but not helping your daughter. It wasn't just your ex that needed you to babysit her, but your daughter needed you as well. This isn't a child you so happen to know, this is your child, your own flesh and blood. Also, I couldn't help but notice how you mentioned how you said your ex called everybody else before calling you. Possibly meaning she can't rely on you for the not her sake, but your daughter's sake. I get it. This was an important moment for you, you wanted to see your unborn child. But you still have a responsibility to your child who is already here. I got to disagree. His daughter didn't need him because her mother was literally right there. It's her responsibility to arrange for childcare. You're acting like all the responsibility is on him and none of it on her. Thank you for your take on the story. However, we don't know if the mother was there to help or not. Original poster said it himself that they don't rely on each other unless it's an emergency. Meaning the ex had no one else except original poster. I understand that they is responsibility on her end, but her babysit fellow giving her such a short time to find someone. I don't believe that original poster's responsibility should be in the ex herself because tough luck, but it should be in his child. I wouldn't be happy either that I might have to miss my appointment. However, I acknowledge that my child needs me if my ex, who doesn't regularly does it, asked me to watch her. I personally believe that's a sacrifice a parent has to make for their child, not their spouse or ex. I've been fired from jobs. BC childcare fell through that day, or my son was sick and I needed to pick him up. Wow. This is America, I assume. Absolutely. We have jobs here that are called at will employment in some states, meaning the companies can fire you for any reason without notice. It's not uncommon to get fired if you can't come in because your childcare plans fall through. You guys live in a dystopian nightmare. I'm in the USA and have been fired from jobs due to childcare and being a single mom. Women are treated very poorly here in the workforce. There's an entirely second set of unwritten rules and expectations. Oh, come off it. I'm a parent and stuff happens that you have absolutely no control over. You can dot your I's and cross your T's and still have an issue that pops up where you need to improvise and ask for help. The ex called everyone she could, so she did do something and tried something else before leaning on the father. We don't know her situation. She may have a real crap of a boss that will not allow her time off regardless of her kid being sick. Unfortunately, they exist. I don't see what she did to be a problem at all. I had a son during COVID and I missed all the appointments because they'd only let my wife inside. Thanks to dense walls, reception was a no-go, so I saw pics later. He had an actual kid that needed help. He should have helped. It's part of parenting. Sometime you got to do things you don't want to do and didn't plan to do. It's crazy to me that people think just because it's your off week with custody that your kid isn't your responsibility that week at all. That's not how parenting works. Sure, this past year and a half, we absolutely shouldn't help each other, especially when it is about helping the mother of his freaking child potentially not lose her job. That's the spirit. You're the butthole. Her mother had childcare arranged. They got sick. And she tried everyone else she could. What more is she supposed to do? I got to disagree with you here. His daughter did need him because her mother had to go to work to provide for her and was unable to. She did arrange childcare. It fell through, then she went to literally every other person before going to the father of her child as a last resort. The responsibility was on her and she was responsible. She did everything right and shouldn't have had to miss out on a day's worth of money from her paycheck and potentially be in trouble with her work. He was literally sitting in the car. Yeah, to call dad last is very telling. Kind of points the finger that dad is pretty unreliable if she wouldn't call him first. Guess he totally confirmed that in this situation. You just said what everyone was thinking. Oh my god, yes, like bro, you got another woman pregnant but you keep calling her your roommate? WTF, that's weird as F. I'm extremely curious to know if this pregnant lady knows she's still just the roommate. Right? My husband had to miss the anatomy ultrasound where you find out the gender of our third kid because he had to take care of our older kids. He was upset, but it was necessary. I understand very well that the first ultrasound is scary and a big deal emotionally, but the children already living come first. Always. I went to an ultrasound with a friend because her husband had to work. It was the one where they do some measurement for Down syndrome and my friend wanted someone there for support. So a big deal appointment, and I subbed in because her husband was doing what he needed to do to support his family. Life is about making tough decisions and sometimes the right decisions suck. I miscarried in the ER on Saturday afternoon, all alone. My husband needed to be home with our toddler. The right decisions don't always feel good, but you know they're right. The kid is more important than the grown-up. Exactly. I feel it speaks volumes about his character and how he'll prioritize things when the new baby arrives. Doesn't sound like he and the roommate are a couple, so what will happen when he moves on from that child too? Parenting is 24/7 whether they are in your presence at that exact moment or not. I'd expect him to pay my lost wages for that day, as well. If it's her custody time, I feel like it's absolutely up to her to arrange other child care, or take off work. Of course, ask the other parent if they're available, but if they have an appointment and it's not a real emergency, as in child was okay, not in danger or sick, then it's completely okay in my mind to wait. Obviously, it can be the nice thing to do, and handy if you have something go wrong during your own custody time, to call in a favor. But I don't think he's in butthole for going to the appointment. Every time I see someone refer to their unborn kid's mother as roommate, I cringe. I just don't get it. It's almost always an auto butthole verdict. You are a parent every day, not just when you have her. I agree with everything you said except for maybe your judgment, simply because it seems that his ex was just trying to get to work. I'm going with you're the butthole. I mean, think about it, considering how he's talking about his daughter, and how he views another woman he already got pregnant, it seems that he doesn't help the ex much with parenting, much less financially with the child, which is probably why he was so desperate to ask for his help in order to get to work. And his "I just want to be there for every milestone" is bull crap. He isn't being there for the child he already has, he's sure as hell not going to be a good dad for the other little one-up. He's acting like kids are unfinished sewing projects you can start over if you get bored with the first one. Also, as a fellow pregnant woman who is also due in September, hello. Congratulations on your beautiful baby. May God bless the rest of your pregnancy to be safe and healthy. Praying gesture, P's. I related to the whole too mean for the internet to talk to incels thing. I definitely would have tag teamed with you there had I seen it, skull. Info. Are you no longer with the mother of your unborn child? Seems odd you would keep calling her your roommate. I figured they were just FWB or something, and she got pregnant. Honestly, I don't even think it's FWB, I think it's an ons where one day things got out of hand. Happened to my buddy like 10 years ago. They remained good friends and co-parented but just had no romantic connection. Worked out really well. But I can definitely see this going wrong 90% of the time. Agreed, I thought that was a mistake when original poster said he was the father while calling the mother his roommate. They could roommates who just screwed around in a no strings attached situation. Big string now attached. Yeah, umbilical cord. And he didn't know about his existing child until after she was born. He doesn't seem to like being involved. Why couldn't the mom drop the kid at the parking lot where original poster was? Seems logistically the fastest solution. This is what I want to know. Mom could have taken kid to original poster, then gone to work a little bit late instead of missing the whole shift. People literally get fired for this. My mother once got fired from a job because my little brother, who is allergic to peanuts, started having a severe reaction at his day camp by accidentally eating something that had been cooked in peanut oil. The only person who could get there with any quickness was my mother, so she told her boss what was happening and left, and he waited until she came in the next day to tell her it wasn't working out and fired her. The ultrasound appointment was on FaceTime since original poster couldn't go into the room anyway. There's literally no reason why he couldn't have gone, picked up his daughter, and went right back to the doctor's office. I really can't imagine how this could in any way be the ex's fault. No kidding. Or he could pick up the daughter and FaceTime from there. Strap daughter in the car seat and fire up the phone. These parents seem to lack critical thinking skills. It could have been a cool bonding time too. She's going to be a big sister. You're the butthole. Very you're the butthole. Yes, you weren't required to care for your daughter at the time, blah blah. To just give a flippant I'm not legally required to take care of my child right now is a very butthole thing of you to do. She's your daughter. It may not be your legal obligation to take care of her at all times, but it's certainly your moral obligation to do so, however inconvenient you find it. And the ex could have brought her to him. This is going to be unpopular. But you're the butthole. Yes, it may not be your time to care. However, she still is your daughter. You even said it on your post that she called you as a last resort because the people she could depend on weren't available. You weren't the father or responsible for your child care just during the time you have her. You have to be responsible for emergencies, etc. in terms of the sonogram. I get it, first time and you missed it with your daughter. However, you weren't even going to be in the room. You were going to FaceTime anyway. You could have done that while caring for your daughter. This isn't a matter of you not giving in to your ex. It's a matter you not wanting to care for your daughter. So yes, you're the butthole. Guess what? My boyfriend has 2 kids with his ex. No matter how much it inconveniences him, if his ex needs him to watch over the kid, we do it. We don't go around it's your time to care for them. We don't go around we have other obligations so too bad. No. Moral obligations. Not even legal obligations. You didn't fail your ex. You failed your daughter. It's a good thing the first kid is still too young to understand that original poster picked the new kid/fetus over her because he wasn't present for his first kid. With the new kid, he gets try all over again. I'm really hoping it will all turn out well, or else it might get really bad for the 6-year-old in the future. Why couldn't you just do the call while watching your kid? I'm going with you're the butthole. There are many more pregnancy milestones than the first ultrasound. Plus, like you admitted, you wouldn't have missed it entirely as it could have been recorded. Was it really worth jeopardizing the income of your daughter's mother? Not in my opinion. Who calls the mother of their child their roommate? People who had sex with their roommate. You're the butthole. You were in a car. You could have literally started driving immediately to pick up daughter and pulled over if the call to FaceTime came in before you got there, or back, but you did no problem solving. Which is what good parents do. Also, your ex working means she does need to be paid child support. If she gets fired for not turning up, that will be your financial problem. You're the butthole. You choose to see the ultrasound of a fetus instead of picking up your daughter. Of course, you're the butthole. As a dad, you need your priorities straight. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.